My family and I have been going to Grace for about 11 years. And for the first 7 years, we were like a lot of people probably are. We stayed in the background. We were only slightly involved. Not a lot of people really knew who we were. And then a few years ago, we just started getting more plugged in, meeting more people. And one of the things that we did that really changed our experience was going on a short-term mission trip. So about 3 years ago, I went on a trip to Cuba with some friends of mine who had been previously. To be honest, I was really nervous. I didn't know that I was going to be able to raise the support necessary for the trip. My wife was due about a month and a half before the trip left with our third child. So timing wasn't maybe the most convenient thing in the world, but I so wanted to go and experience what I heard that was happening in Cuba. And so I went on the trip and got to serve alongside about 20 people who have since then become really good friends. And it was just amazing to watch God work. When you step outside of your own culture and your own environment, you get to see a side of God that you don't see in your own community. And so getting to see some people just passionately living their lives for a gospel as pastors in another country, and getting to meet people who have different struggles and different needs than we do really opens your eyes to things that God's doing in the world. And so came back from that trip excited, and the last 2 years my wife and I got to go together. And again, that's really hard. You know, we have 3 young kids, they're in school, there's just a lot going on, but we also know that it says a lot to them when we take the time away, and it gives us opportunities to share even with people here when we have to reach out to teachers and schools and tell them, hey, just to let you know, we're gonna be out of town on a mission trip serving. And so, you know, we want our kids to know that this is something we treat as a priority. So if you've ever thought about going on a short-term trip, or maybe you haven't, but as you're listening to this, you're thinking, you know, what if I went on that trip? If you're even curious, even remotely curious about going on a short-term trip, then I would say find out more information. Think about taking that step. I'm an introvert by nature. I'm an engineer. Going to a different culture and going out and sharing my faith with people is something I'm really uncomfortable with, if I'm completely honest. And I just know that when you step out into the middle of what God's doing, you're gonna meet him in new ways, and he's gonna do exciting things through you, and it'll have a lasting impact on your life.